What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're hopping into a comprehensive ship guide for 2021 for new players coming into this game mode for the first time. We're going to go over the basics. We're going to rank the squadron so you know what you should be shooting for in the future. And then lastly, we are going to go over, if I was a new player coming into this game mode this year, what I would be farming and what I would be working in over this year. So let's hop over and get started. But before we do that, if this is your first time on the channel or have been watching and have not hit that sub button, be sure to do that for some more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes guides in the future. And if you enjoy the content today, hit that like button. It definitely helps out the channel a ton. So let's hop over. First thing I want to look at is capital ships. There's two different types of ships. So capital ships and then also the individual starfighters that take the field that you battle with. So capital ships work as the de facto leader of the squadron. They have abilities that are going to affect the squadron as a whole that are very, very powerful. And the type of capital ship, the ships that you have underneath them, make a big difference on the outcome of your battle. So first thing I will look at is the leadership ability from your pilot, and that is going to be unlocked by the power level of your pilot. You have to have your pilots up to at least gear level 11 to completely unlock these abilities altogether. And the nice thing about capital ships is they have their own currency for unlocking abilities that are separate from characters. Same thing with the individual starfighters as well. So have to have that at gear 11 to be able to unlock that completely. Has a huge effect on the battle, those leadership abilities do. And then these abilities down here are the ones that you will be actually using during the battle. And they have a pretty strong effect on the battle as well. Their power level is based off of the star level of your capital ship to be able to fully unlock those. And at 7 stars, you're able to completely unlock and level up all of these abilities. And then you're also able to bring in up to 4 additional ships into the battle as call-in ships. So with ships you start off with 3 to begin with, you can bring in an additional 4 with 7-star capital ship, will allow you to completely unlock all of those call-in slots. So that's it for capital ships. We're going to hop over to the individual starfighters. Now there's a difference between these. They've added in some new fighters this year that have pilotless ships, which is really, really nice. The power level of those ships is just based off of the abilities on those ships, and then gear or leveling those ships all the way up to level 85, which is really, really nice compared to these. With pilot ships, you have to have those pilots unlocked on the character side, and then that character level's power level affects all the abilities and attributes of that ship. So it's really nice to not have to do that with the new ships that they've added in. So for this ship though, so for Han's Millennium Falcon, if there are multiple pilots, you get multiple pilot abilities, which is really nice. And unlocking them completely are based off of the gear level of the characters, just like the capital ship. So to completely unlock that, you have to have those characters up to gear 11 as well. Now, there is something unique about these ships as well, though. You have a call-in ability, which has its own resource to upgrade those as well. These have a huge effect on the battle, so if it's going to be a ship that you're going to call in quite often, you're going to make sure that you upgrade that ability, especially if it has a really positive effect on the outcome of the battle. And then the nice thing about these, though, is you do not have to have these completely up to 7 stars to be able to unlock the abilities in full and upgrade them on the individual starfighters like you do with the capital ships. So the next thing I want to look at though is the pilots themselves. There's a lot of confusion when it comes around to pilots and how they affect the stats of the ship. So when it comes to modding your characters, to get higher speed, you need high speed on your mods. That's not the case with ships. The only thing that affects the speed and attributes of your ship is going to be the power level of that character overall. So upgrading the character to relic, completely gearing them up, that's going to have a big effect on that power level, which is going to raise the stats of the ship. Completely upgrading their abilities, throwing Zetas on those characters are going to have a really positive effect on their individual ships, and when upgrade those abilities, upgrade those statistics of that ship. And then lastly, when it comes to mods, mods do matter, but they don't matter as far as what's on the actual mods. It matters if they are 6-dot mods, 5-dot mods, whatever the dot level, the power level of that mod is going to have an effect on the power level of your character, which is going to increase the stats. So 6-dot mods are going to be the best when it comes to increasing the stats of your pilots, which in return is going to give you better stats on your ships. It's going to increase their health, protection, speed, all that good stuff that you're looking for on the ship comes from the power level of your pilot. So that is it for the basics. Let's hop over and take a look at how I am ranking the squads for 2021. I believe there are 2 main meta squads, and it's been that way for a while now, and that's going to be a Negotiator and Malevolence-led squadrons with Galactic Republic and Separatists. And when you're looking at this guide here, the first ones are going to be the capital ships, and then the ones that are circled in yellow are going to be my recommended starting 3. You can swap these around. These are not set in stone, but it's the ones that I like the best for the starting 3 in the ship lineups. And then the last 4 are going to be your call-in ships. So meta 1, I do think Negotiator edges out Malevolence as the best ship overall. It holds better on defense, but the really nice thing about Malevolence, and especially if you go after Malevolence early, is a 5-star Malevolence can take out a 7-star Negotiator with the right lineup, and it's just a really good ship for climbing. It just doesn't hold as well on defense as the Negotiator does. For number 3, I recommend Rebels with Akbar lead, coming in with Han Solo. Really powerful lineup when it comes to throwing out a ton of offense. Han's Millennium Falcon is one of the best ships in the game, and it definitely shines underneath that Akbar Rebel leadership. It's my number 3 squadron, and it's one that can jump into the meta conversation as far as being able to take out the Negotiators and Malevolences. Really solid lineup, and it does really well on defense too. For number 4, I'm going for a Tarkin-led Empire Squadron. I like Tarkin better than Thrawn overall, so I recommend him for his capital ship. And then with the new bomber coming in, it has really helped out the Empire Squadron. Same with the Rebel Squadron. The new pilotless ships, bombers, have definitely helped out bring those up. And then coming in at 5 and 6 are the newer squadrons that they've added to the game with General Hux and with Admiral Holdo. Both of those I feel just need a couple of extra ships, or maybe 1 extra ship, to really kind of fill out those lineups and make them better. So right now I would recommend obviously going after Negotiator or Malevolence with your get to currency. It's going to take a while to get those. You're not going to get those fast. You're going to have to be in a good guild to get those as well. But working off of either Empire or a Rebel lineup is a good way to start as well. So that's my rankings for 2021. Things to shoot for the best ships out there. All right, lastly, let's hop over and take a look. If I was coming in and hitting ships right now at level 60, what I would be farming. I would go after the Geonosians and their Separatist ships here. I think it's a really great lineup that is very useful underneath like a Tarkin lead. You can use Tarkin, Thrawn, or Admiral Akbar lead underneath these and be successful, but I recommend Tarkin early on because you're going to need him to unlock the Zeta material battles anyway, so you might as well start working on him. And then the Separatist Squadron does do very well underneath him, and then as you progress in the game, you can swap the squadron over to Malevolence later on and be really successful. I do recommend going after Bosk and Houndstooth as well. When you can get to that early, that is the best tank in the game and has been the best tank in the game for a while, so I highly recommend going that route. And then a lot of this kind of comes down on what you're farming on the character side. So if you're going after Gas and Padme early, you may want to start off farming this and then swap over to Galactic Republic and go after a General Kenobi Negotiator instead. If you're investing into relicking your JKA, your Ahsoka, Bosk is going to be really huge on this as well. So if you've already farmed him up, it's going to be good as well. And then if you're going after like Gas for say, you're going to have 5 ship that's going to be available to you as well, that you're going to be investing into that pilot. So it's a good one to have. So it's really kind of comes down on what you're farming on the character side, on what you do for your meta team choice, if you're going after a negotiator or Malevolence. But if you're going after Gas, I would say go after Negotiator. But if you're going after just about anything else, I think Malevolence is going to be the route to go. So that is it for today. I hope this guide helped you out. If you've got some questions, comments, leave those down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.